Live from the mixed up world of Hyrule. This is the SpeedGaming Live Link to the Past Randomizer Tournament Qualifiers number 2. Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Bobtastic, and joining me today on commentary is the man you get to blame for all your bad seeds, Sinek. Sinek, how you doing?
Not bad. I'm going to correct the record here. You don't get to blame me. You get to blame Sahasrabot. But Sahasrabot isn't an actual person, so you can't blame anybody. I think that's
who begets Sahasrabot? That's the thing. Anyway.
I'm not taking any credit for that, except for the good stuff. You can send the good stuff my way.
There's plenty good about Sahasrabot, let me tell you.
Yeah, so we've got ourselves a qualifier number 2 of a 15 race series. We've picked P-Train and Relkin for the restream, but we do have 83 participants in this qualifier. That's a decent sized qualifier. It's much larger than the one on Thursday, probably because this isn't like working hours for North America.
Weekend time is a thing.
Yep. So this is SpeedGaming Live settings, and so this can be an standard start, but with a boot start and sword, and the item pool's been modified a little bit. And we'll get to that in a little bit here. But
well,
guess what?
I guess we're starting with 2 swords today.
Oh, fun fact, you can dash through bushes. Even before you get
dash
to
sword sort of works. The slash sword doesn't. I found this out the other day.
So I think P-Train is rocking a modified sprite. He has I think he has a sprite that has a slightly modified body on it for the animation.
Interesting.
I approve of this choice. Alright, so we find gloves and escape.
So by slightly modified for the animation, you mean modified to the point where it doesn't have animation?
Basically. Yeah, the body doesn't have an animation, so like the head looks like it's just moving independently from the body like that.
I can actually think of a strategic reason to run that. Like, if you want everything to be extremely consistent with your pixels on, in relation to your shadow and all that mess, it could be, on purpose. But, you never know.
I'll have to ask him about it later. I
just find it interesting. Awkward bobblehead Link.
I'll take I think it's just fine. I'd play it. If I wasn't addicted to the cursor sprite, at least. So we got Relkin. Relkin does have a little bit of a lead on P-Train right now in Escape. Or no, we're a little desync. Never mind. All right. So one of the primary changes you're going to see with SpeedGaming Live settings is that you're going to see a lot more heart pieces. In fact, you'll only come across 3 heart containers in chests or locations. Everything else will be heart pieces. It'll still add up to 14 heart containers total that you can have by the end of the run, but the odds of getting all 14 are very low.
Yeah, so lots and lots of, or very, very few people will get anywhere close to those hearts. The upside with these settings that I enjoy over, say, the main tournament settings is you can get the blue mail, and the green mail sucks. In case you didn't know that.
It kind of takes some of the bite out of probably only getting about 8 to 10 hearts, maybe, for your run. Your blue mail will effectively double that, but that's assuming that you find one of them.
Yeah, and I know some people, they like the mode, the open mode where you start with the same stuff, or you start with the normal stuff, and then you don't get the boots right away. reason we're using the boots modes, I'm assuming, is one, it's just faster for purposes, and we're going to have a fairly large bracket when it comes to the actual event. You got to get through those. And two, if you've never played a casual boots seed, I recommend it. It's an enjoyable experience just having the boots right away. Hello.
Think about having stuff immediately. That's mitts, isn't it?
Yeah. What did you do? I'm just kidding.
What did Sahasrabot do?
Exactly.
That's the real question. So we got ourselves mitts coming right out of escape, which means that we're a moon pearl away from go mode, or from not go mode. What the heck am I talking about? We're
from Dark World
Access. Yeah, that's probably that's the word we're looking for. But I'll tell you, don't judge a seed by its escape.
True.
That's I think that's the phrase, right?
Now, interestingly enough, there is the mushroom we found in the back of Escape. I wonder how many runners will head for the potion shop as soon as possible.
That's probably something you'd probably put off.
I would imagine so. But some people might go for it.
We'll have to see which way Relkin dashes. Oh, alright, looks like No, it looks like Relkin's
going
for
it. King's Tomb, because it's literally available.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
that is so grand. Alright, that's what the heck?
Alright, game.
What? Alright. So we have Dark World access at like sub 6 minutes.
Yep.
And Relkin just kind of water walks across. He's going to turn in this mushroom. P-Train's going to put it off. Instead, we're going to get a Bonk Rocks check on P-Train's side.
All right, nothing important on that mushroom. Okay, Cheetos in the Bonk Rocks. Well, we are just plowing through all the things you need here.
No, we're gonna last location flute again. That's what's gonna happen. Like
fair.
The seat ain't over until it's a go mode.
All right, Lumberjack, just a piece of heart.
Looks like
which again, as you were saying, the hearts are kind of low, so some people might want to grab several pieces of heart, but I'm not going out of my way for that one.
Yeah, it seems like a bit of a stretch there. You do have some bombs here at Mushroom Spot. That's not a bad pick at this point. Could definitely use those. And Relkin, I think, is he blind checking race game?
I think so.
This is a blind? Alright.
We did get a bottle in the Lost Woods.
All right.
Or maybe he's not blind checking it. Maybe he actually checked it beforehand. Because it's important. It's a bow. And it is the bow. There's not two bows. There's just one. There are silver arrows that do exist in the pool. But they are a completely separate item. But yeah, to be honest, my brain runs on autopilot for the most part until I get through Kakariko Village on these, so I would have completely forgot that King's Tomb was open. There's a mirror in Blind's hut. And Brian. Hello, Brian.
He's a good guy. Keeps you protected when you need it most. And Chicken Hut has just 5 rupees. Nothing too terribly important. And looks like we're not getting any info on what the back of Blind's hut is right now. We'll figure that out later, I suppose. So we got arrows for that bow that P-Train's probably going to find here in a minute.
I imagine so.
And some Zora cash.
Change. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, a small magic decanter. That is what we replace the half magic with.
Yeah, I'm going to affectionately refer to that for the rest of this tournament as 8th magic.
8th magic.
Because quarter magic already exists.
8th magic.
Now, P-Train is going to the Dark World right now. Given the mirror and the lift upgrade, I'm kind of on board with this, and he'll still be able to check the race game once it gets down to south. Because of the mirror.
The mirror really makes a lot of this very, very efficient.
Yeah, it's actually way, way faster with the mirror because you could just like mirror to the back of the race game, not have to go through the house.
Alright, so it looks like we only missed a big heart container here in the back of Blind's hut. So that was our 4th sword, that green 20 there.
Wow. Okay. Well, I guess it could be Relkin's 3rd. Because he's going to the Dark World too.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll have a tempered sword here really quick. And magic powder,
which they can do.
So we did get a map check. It looks like we had a red pendant at Skull Woods. Did you get the rest of it though?
I thought I saw pendants at Turtle Rock and Misery Mire.
Okay,
so
that makes sense.
Maybe I'm blind. Tracker's telling me otherwise, so the heck do I know?
Oh, by the way, shout out to Adela, our tracker for today. Y'all are awesome. Clap, clap.
Mm-hmm. P-Train only looked at the map for like a half a second. Or an 1/8 second, as we call it. And,
you always got to operate in powers of 2. Looks like we're having... Just bear with us here on the stream. P-Train is going to give us a look at this this powder. I'm thinking maybe P-Train. I know P-Train dipped out of Thieves Town. Maybe he wanted to wait until maybe he found Hammer before going in.
Yeah, seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Welcome picking up the full magic decanter in the back of Skull Woods there. There is actually some finesse to that. Like, if you kill enemies or have too many sprites in the previous room, the silly thing won't even spawn.
P-Train's finishing up CAC now. It's a good play. Kind of worked out really well with like the early Dark World access and access to Mirror.
So P-Train has created a sprite, or has elected to use a sprite where the bottom half of Link does not
animate at
all. Yeah.
Yeah. Or you're thinking, 1, because it looks funny, or 2, there might be some strategic reason for it. That we do allow players to run whatever Link sprite they want, and so there's no limitations there. They can run whatever sprite they want. So if this is what P-Train wanted, this is what he gets. We would not have a sick kid check. We don't have a bottle yet, do we? Or we do have a bottle.
Yeah, we got a bottle and it was just 20 rupees.
Okay.
We just saw it.
All right, so Relkin is going to scout out Lumberjack.
I believe Relkin actually picked up the bottle from the Lost Woods hideout as well, because the screen he was frozen on earlier was in fact the Lost Woods hideout. So
you see what P-Train's gonna do here, though. He's gonna do this, and then go back to the hut. Go back to like where the hut would be in the light world. He's gonna mirror and then just bundle this with race game. He's gonna do it completely blind too. He'll be in for a nice surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Relkin is gonna go ahead and get the sword that he didn't get. Oh, I guess that was his third sword.
There's a book for in the dig game as well. So, yep, that's a plan.
P-Train's gonna go claim his OG bow, the original, the one, the only.
Except no substitutions.
So, P-Train picked up a bomb there, so he didn't mirror bonk. Because when you have the bomb over your head, you're not going to take the mirror portal that was put down. So he wanted to pick up a bomb to lift himself to the right spot so he didn't mirror bonk.
Speaking of mirroring,
this is really efficient routing on P-Train's part. This is really great.
a lot of these checks are going to turn out to be unnecessary, but they're, again, efficient.
Yeah.
And, pretty much ensuring that we will never have to visit this place ever again unless, of course,
you mirror bonk.
that or unless we need to activate a flute. Yeah, it does look like
he might be messed up here.
He kind of stuck himself there. He's gonna have to run up for the normal portal. That's the sort of thing you learn all about the mirror position there when you're trying to do really silly things in overworld glitches. Because you can theoretically access the smith without the glove with some mirror jumping shenanigans there.
Oh, so for some context in chat, OG. So as stands for old guard or like original. It's a concept. I think it stands for old guard though, right?
I thought OG stood for original gangster.
Oh, that might actually mean might be the meaning too. English is a weird language. Just roll with it.
True.
Get some arrows for that freshly acquired bow. So P-Train's gonna grab this chest. See, probably a run at the southern part of the Dark World on both players' sides. Relkin is opting to skip the chest, though.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So our Grove 45. Oh, there we go. There's the greatest safety item remaining in this pool. You beautiful, beautiful blue mail.
All right. So that's a big find. That's a lot of safety. All right. We'll chat with Stumpy. Not a big 20 this time. Something a little better.
Anybody smell an ice palace? This smells like a Hammer and Ice Palace setup. Just saying. But with that Bombos medallion being there and having access, well, you need the flippers technically, but
yeah. And don't forget P-Train, you have book. So I think Relkin is going to go for the full dive on Thieves Town. That's what I'm predicting.
That would be my guess. Our Bombos tablet just bombs. Nothing really surprising there. Yeah, so logically for the hammer to be an Ice Palace, we would still need the flippers. So I probably wouldn't go looking for the hammer and Ice Palace until I found the flippers, because that just seems extremely cruel. Or rather, extremely unlikely.
Yeah, just like it's not something you just do unless it's a desperation play.
Though the thing is, the way that the randomization algorithm for this thing works, there's likely to be at least one sort of obscure or weird placement, because at the beginning, any place where a item could potentially be placed is equally likely until the other items start getting placed. So at the beginning, one or two items can get placed way at the back of whatever chain, and that can sort of dictate the rest of the seed.
So, skull, please. So, P-Train's going to go ahead and probably just do the 2 checks that are here. Never mind. He's going to go over to... We're going to get a shot at Mini Moldworm Cave, at least.
5 glorious items in here, of course. Just the compass in the attic of Thieves Town.
Really nothing.
Yep. Garbage
Nothing.
time. Garbage place.
Garbage time, fun time.
Yeah, essentially.
There's 2 checks here at the dam.
Aw. B-Train just put the portal like half a pixel or two too far to the right. Or too far to the left.
Not having a lot of luck with the
Speaking of a lot of luck, Relkin has managed to get through Thieves Town and not find a small key, so that one's stuck in the chest.
That's good. We will not be looking at a double dip of thieves potentially.
Unless you're P-Train, in which case you're double dipping thieves.
Oh, it doesn't have a swim animate. The body doesn't have a swim.
That's hilarious. What I'm concerned with is I had not even considered bonking off of that thing to set up the fake flipper there.
Yeah.
It's just I'm used to playing cross keys where you don't have the booths to do that.
P-Train grabbing a potion. Probably good. So I'm just gonna for some context right now, we're at the 22-minute 40-second mark. And we've already got mitts, our moon pearl, level 3 sword, mirror, our bow, but we're still missing a lot of stuff still.
Yeah, we still need fire rod, hook shot, flippers, hammer, logically lamp.
We might need Samaria for GT.
Right. Definitely want Samaria for GT. I don't want to climb without that. You kidding me?
Yeah, it feels like that's a...
Those wizard rooms are infinitely worse without Samaria.
Yeah, there is a decent chance that the big key is in the side of GT that requires Samaria. So
yeah, that would be all of 5 out of 22 checks there.
So Relkin is. I'm going to clean all this up.
Yeah. See, the other 5/6 crystal is over there on Desert. I just noticed that. P-Train showing us adventures in unnecessary hovering.
I don't know. He saved the bomb. I consider that a win.
Yeah, and the way he did it, it was probably a little faster than waiting on a bomb to explode.
Yep.
So if you're confident with your hovers, knock yourself out. I will say getting your hovers consistent is, about 30%, learn a little practice and consistency, and about 70% getting actual hardware. Because emulators do not lend themselves to easy hovering.
P-Train would disagree.
I mean, I made it work before. It's just not easy. Anyway. My brain is just still too calibrated to cross keys. I keep seeing P-Train go right past these entrances. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh.
Yeah. So I think this is our first look at Graveyard Ledge.
No, I believe we saw it earlier from Relkin.
Relkin gave us a look at it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like
we won't be able to see
it
on P-Train anyway, so there we go.
Yeah. I lied. We're not going to get a look at it.
Yeah. So one thing I know is that a lot of the some computers it's a little difficult to maintain streaming and like a 20-minute delay worth of recording at the same time on some computers. And, it's just an unfortunate fact that we have to have the 20-minute delay because we can't have nice things.
Is what it is.
Yeah. And with the rather large prize pool that's on the line here, I don't blame anybody for wanting to be extra careful. What's the prize pool up to now? Like 4,500 something?
Yeah, it's 4,500. That includes the $1,000 that SpeedGaming is providing. So it's actually, I think, the largest prize pool for any ALTTPR tournament. Yeah.
No, I think the first one we did had 7,500.
No, it's 3,000.
It was 3,000 for first place.
No, first place was $1,000.
Oh, why did I think it was 7,500? Anyway. You're probably right.
P-Train stream, like, on my side looks fine. So, like, I pulled up his stream directly, which, by the way, if anybody actually pulls up his stream, such a great layout. Bob, you should take a look at it. You'll love it. Take a look at his stream.
I will do that. Since right now we don't have much else. All right.
I think we're back, though.
Looks like it.
Yeah. But yeah, so you took a look at his stream, though?
I'm working on it.
All right. Oh, you'll love it. So we've got. So Relkin just finished up Hype Cave. Looks like P-Train is now going. He's gonna go ahead and clean up Sahasrarla's hut.
Yeah, maybe do the pod play. I think he came from the Dark World.
Yeah, he did. So
Could also do the Eastern play, of course. Oh, that is a glorious layout.
the clock works too. That's the best part. In the corner. It's the actual time.
Thing is, he's not running on emulator though.
No.
He's got a window up that says it's an emulator, but it's not.
Yeah, so for context, P-Train's stream looks like so it looks like a desktop
95.
of Windows 95.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, like Notepad shows like his latest subscriber and follower. There's a window for his webcam. There's a frame for there's a window that looks like it's Dunka Tracker. It's pretty great.
All right. So P-Train did decide to go into Eastern Palace here, which I actually kind of like because it's the one you can finish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we're gonna have, even though it is a pendant, it is a green pendant.
That it is.
And you just realize I don't have a hook shot.
Like I've said this before in a different context, but the hardest trick in the game is remembering you don't have the hook shot. Normally I say that about the Turtle Rock torch room, but same difference. Oh, yeah, it does look like Relkin actually found the hammer. Apparently over the guess from chat is that it was over an ice rod cave, which is not good for P-Train.
Yeah. Bad news. He did find Flute. We're not last location in Flute this seed, even though it's not necessary.
There is that.
Actually, finding Flute is probably bad because it opens up the mire area.
Yeah, and Mire, again, not required today.
But P-Train... So, P-Train will probably dip pod, but then he'll probably do... Once he activates that Flute, he'll probably do Ice Rod Cave. And then get the hammer, so it's not like he's completely sunk. But yeah, he's going to be wasting probably a lot of time in pod. Unless he doesn't get baited.
Yeah, that's going to be a... pretty close or pretty problematic situation.
Yeah, it looks like he's going right into pod. He's not finishing Eastern though.
Interesting. I mean, I wasn't really counting items, but if he found all three, I wouldn't be opposed to that. I'd be real tempted to go finish it if there was an item left, because that's actually 2 items, but with the green pendant.
Yeah. And we have a bow locked pod, but I ain't gonna stop P-Train because he has bow.
Mm-hmm. So you know how the how some items, at least for a while, didn't really show up when you picked them up in the dark? Oh, there's a flippers.
Flippers. Yeah, and how that was fixed.
Yeah. I like how. So I know this is a little bit off topic, but I kind of like how the solution that the Super Metroid combo randomizer came up with, which was just switch the lamp on for like half a second when you pick up a chest in the dark.
I know, yeah, this is a little off topic, but I actually don't like that solution personally.
It's not the most elegant solution, but it was. I liked I liked the solution that they came up with, given the fact that they didn't really have the main code base in it anymore, and they were just looking for a quick and dirty solution.
Yeah, like Zarby created the fix for the dark rooms. I think it was like between Zarby and Can. Yeah, they were able to come up with the trick. So basically, how that works is that there's like the game dynamically changes the palette used to render the item. So it's not one of the palettes that gets obscured by the dark. So the color actually shows through. It's like it shifts like where in the palette the colors are at. It's on the fly. And then sets it back after it's done.
And I mean, it seems to do this all without delay, so it manages to pull that off within a single frame. So good job. Good job with the assembly language and the actual speed of programming, and I'm bad. Couldn't do that.
Oh, we got plenty of money. Relkin's in the pod basement.
Yeah, he's in the
Looks
turtle
like he's
room.
working his way through up to Helmasaur King.
And the turtle room is not a trivial room to get through in the dark.
So we do have flippers now on both sides, but now the question's really going to be is where's Petra going to go next after this? Because he's going to find a couple more pieces of garbage here and then mirror out.
Well, I mean, with those flippers, he might get debated into Ice Palace. I hope not, but
I hope not either. I think without Hookshot, he probably won't because
hopefully he'll get the flute and then go towards Ice Palace, but hit Ice Rod Cave first.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna like kick himself once he activates his flute and checks Ice Rod Cave. He's gonna go to Ice Rod Cave though. I don't see why you wouldn't.
Speaking of flute, I know we're probably not using P-Train's audio, but here we go.
We got it.
Well, hello everyone. I hope you all have fun while we watch the runs. Who will prevail? Well, let me tell you one thing improved about these settings. From the realm of safety, you get blue mail.
Nah, you probably couldn't hear any of that clapping.
Oh, I heard the clapping.
All right. So P-Train, where are you gonna go? Hopefully, he decides to go to 8. That would be.
I just have my audio down. That's why I can't hear it.
Yeah, you'll want to go right click on it and set the stream volume
Got
at
it.
200% or something. Yeah.
We're good. All right.
He's doing water checks. By the way, the P and C indicators you see in the corner, that determines that's telling if it's a pendant or a crystal. That's the newest. It's something quality of life, but it was mostly for accessibility.
Yeah.
If you can't hear the dungeon music, you still have an indicator.
Yeah. Also, it allows people to use the custom music packs that have special music for every dungeon without losing the information advantage that the music would give you. And there's the hammer for P-Train.
All right, so does P-Train... We'll have to figure out what his play is going to be. It's not quick swapping. All right. Or he's going back to 8.
We could be seeing an Ice Palace.
Ice. Yeah, he's going to go into Ice. And at least he'll have the equipment for it.
Nope, he's going for Zora. And the waterfall. It looks like Relkin also dipped out of Eastern without the green pendant, so we're going to be left in the dark on that one.
I mean, so far, it seems like the seed is, like, there's nothing terribly crazy about the seed except maybe the hammer placement. But even that's, like,
I mean, that's very pedestrian. It's Sphere 1, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Now, that being said, we have Bombos, and we're looking for Fire Rod, so where's the Fire Rod? It's an Ice Palace. That's the rule. Doesn't have to be, but it's close.
All right, P-Train, where you going? All right, he's going to go up the mountain. All right, going to rescue Old Man.
This being the one check in here that's not in logic. But it does give you a additional save and quit point, so it's generally worth doing either way. We're going to get a catfish check for Relkin. P-Train basically abandoned this when he did Zora. And good news, it's not going to be anything for P-Train. We got Zora. We got money. I don't know why I said Zora. We have money on the Old Man. Yeah, flippers were in the big chest of Palace of Darkness, yeah. So where precisely is the pedestal hype index? Let's see. Like,
I think it's pretty dead.
It's pretty dead. Like, hook shot.
Hook shot
is a possibility.
That's... Yeah, we can't have our Fire Rod there. I think the index is so low that you're not going to see our runners even going anywhere near there, except maybe if they exit Skull Woods, they might just check it just as a sanity check. But that's probably about it.
All right, so
and that's assuming that we're not in go yet. But go ahead.
So P-Train's in Tower of Hera and is going upstairs the old-fashioned way due to, once again, lack of hookshot. Could always be here. So far, just found the compass and the big key. I wonder. So a lot of people will skip out on the basement if they find the small key, even if they leave an item. Oh, well, there we go.
Okay.
That's a hook shot.
Head's dead. Sorry, chat. Yeah, better luck next time.
Very, very dead on the ped. And so we are essentially Fire Rod from Go mode here. Which, again, I'm assuming is an Ice Palace until I'm proven wrong.
I mean, it's a reasonable possibility at this point. Like, this is also really shaping up. Assuming when we find Fire Rod soon, this is shaping up to be a low % seed.
Mm-hmm. So if I'm P-Train in this scenario, I might go Swamp before I go Ice. So it is interesting that P-Train is floating away from 1 here.
He's going 8, 7, 5?
5.
Oh, he's going to clean up. Yeah, I agree with this.
Clear out
clean
pod.
Up. Clean up pod. Yep.
Relkin, on the other hand, is going over to the Mire area, which is a quite interesting play.
Needs to do desert. Did we get a read on that?
It was Bombos.
Ew. That's disgusting. We don't have a lamp, though, do we?
We do not.
So we visit a fire source.
Yeah, though the number of times I've seen the lamp in Misery Mire is not zero, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. So, right, Relkin is going to at least do a half dip on desert. Can't finish it without fire rod or lamp. So, we're not sure if he checked the torch there. He probably did. We'll know in a minute.
He clearly did get a small key, so heading over to the right. It's a map. And the
Big key.
So probably going to go back for the big chest.
Yep. Based on where he entered, he probably did check the torch there. Yeah.
If
you would have checked,
physics worked like normal, yeah, Bombos would light all the torches in the room, but this is an Ocarina of Time. It's not Den's Fire, unfortunately.
And based on that, there's probably an item on Landmo.
Yeah, I mean, we saw both map and compass, so I'm guessing it's more of a definitely an item on Landmo situation.
Yep.
All right, piece of heart in the checkerboard cave. Relkin not even interested in it. 8 hearts is enough, I guess, with blue mail for sure.
Yeah, P-Train hammering out his differences with Helmasaur King. I had to throw that in there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, is going to go for the Mire play, though. Like, so, the thing is that a lot of Mire is locked out for Relkin still. Even if you can get in, there's 2 chests that are completely fire locked.
All right, so the Misery Mire play for Relkin. Yeah, we've still got two chests completely fire locked, and gonna be a hot minute before we see any of those. Yeah, the dip into Mire is it's an interesting play. I'm not gonna say it's bad or good because it's just a calculated risk. Or sometimes an uncalculated risk. You just take the risk and go for it.
Yeah, this Mire dip could be the equalizer, or it could also work really to Relkin's favor. We'll find out here soon.
So for those of you just joining us, this is, again, the qualifiers for the SpeedGaming Live tournament with a massive, ridiculous prize pool. And we have a non-trivial prize pool. The settings for this are the casual boots, so you're starting with boots and a sword, but the item pool has been modified slightly. Like, the bow is not progressive. You can get up to a maximum of blue mail, 1 shield, 3 swords, that sort of thing. Although all of the items of those type are placed within the pool, so you're no less likely to get 3 swords as you would be in a normal seed.
All right, so Relkin's noping out. He's done.
It's standard is the mode, not open.
Yep. I posted a link in chat a little bit ago with the details of what this particular set of settings do versus your standard just casual boots.
That is an interesting point by our tracker here, that we don't have anyone, like no one has checked Paradox Cave or Super Bunny Cave, any of that mountain stuff. Now, Relkin is dipping into Ice Palace, which, again, I'm assuming this is where the Fire Rod is until I'm proven otherwise. Alright, big key for Relkin. Now, we do not have the Cane of Samaria, so we're not going to be able to do any icebreakery shenanigans here.
Alright. So it looks like P-Train is probably going to go. Yep, he's going to do hammer pegs. These were still left outstanding.
Yeah, I think Relkin did hammer pegs earlier. I think it was money. Green money with a number on it. Not sure if it was 50 or 300. Yeah.
300. P-Train's like, nope. I don't need any of this money.
So another subtle difference about these settings that a lot of people might overlook is you've only got 2 maximum bottles, and the bottles are empty when you find them, no matter what. So you're gonna have to fill them up if you're gonna get something in those bottles.
All right, so that was Ether Medallion.
So Ether Medallion, I like finding Ether Medallion given what we have here, because we might never find the cane, and that's, in my opinion, the second best way to kill the Wizrobes on the way up GT.
All right, so P-Train, what are you going to do after this? He's probably going to go into desert. But does he go up to the mountain? Does he decide to try to go into Ice Palace?
Who knows?
Does he finally decide, oh, you know what, we're just going to do Swamp Palace? Honestly, Swamp Palace, I think, is the play for P-Train right now. There's several items in there, like 6 or 5?
Six total items.
Yeah.
6 total items. And, Fire Rod is, it likes to be in there occasionally.
Honestly, that's a pretty dense set of checks, relatively, based on like what we have available to us right now, which is pretty much Swamp Palace. You can go to East Death Mountain in the Dark World.
Now, unfortunately, we weren't able to see what was at the vanilla big key chest of Ice Palace. But we will see what happens for Relkin later. He did a nice bomb jump to get over there in the first place.
Maybe we'll see a menu.
The fact that he's going to Ice Tea leads me to believe it was not the it was not the Fire Rod. But who knows?
Yeah.
And of course, we don't get to see the Ice Tea either. Oh well.
Well, let's get imaginative. Agena. Yeah, we've seen this on Relkin's side, didn't we? Yeah.
All right, it's cold stare time. Relkin. And switching to Bombos because that's the only way we have to defeat it.
Spin and some slashes. Very clean.
Nicely done. P-Train up on Death Mountain. Gonna take care of the items here.
I kind of agree with this. I don't think we've seen. Have we seen any of this on either side? Did Relkin do any of the lightning stuff? Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
So
if
there's a lot of stuff here.
So I will say, if I were P-Train, in this particular scenario, I found the hook shot up at Nice Lamp. Yeah, find the hook shot up at, and there's the fire rod.
Fire rod.
There we go.
All right. Well, P-Train's a go mode. 55-45.
So, bail and flute to 4, I guess, or wherever you want to go to finish dungeons. 6, I guess. Finish off desert then. And P-Train will be able to go mode through Ice Palace as well. I will go through with the very important comment that the race time room for this seed was called Fortunate Jet Seed. Just saying.
I'm gonna have people calling conspiracy theories for days. It's gonna drive me crazy. All right. So we're frozen again on P-Train's side, but
I mean, we at least know that we're not going to miss any super relevant items.
It's true. We know where everything's at. P-Train just needs to go ahead and he has a ton of cleanup to do though. There's like after this, there's still 3 more crystal dungeons he has to do before even considering entering GT. Was able to make quick work of Landmo though. That's always nice.
Luckily, he's only got one. The dungeons he has left are fairly quick, so Skullwoods is a little annoying, but you finish it when you can. Swamp, he can go mode that. Ice Palace, he can go mode that. He does have to go mode it the old-fashioned way, on account of not having the cane, but still, if you forgot how to do the Ice Palace bomb jump, I'm sorry, but also P-Train can probably hover that gap anyway.
So I just hope the cane doesn't end up being required, or else.
Oh yeah, that could be a problem.
That's still an outstanding problem
situation.
So they're gonna still probably open up checks along the way, because it's not like a situation where, say, it's boots that are the only thing that you're missing, right? That's 1 out of 22. Right. This is a scenario where it's like 5 out of 22 that are locked by Samarian.
I suppose one of the upsides with this mode is you'll you'll never have that 1 out of 22 chance of not being in go mode for GT on account of starting with the boots. That's another nice little mitigating factor, getting rid of that super high variance thing.
The side effect. Not unless we make pseudo boost a thing.
Yeah, it is the pseudo boots are an interesting they're an interesting option.
Alright. Ralkin has his hook shot. The good news is that Ralkin is probably going to come across the fire rod and lamp pretty quick, because he's going to probably, once he's done in Hera, going to go over to East Mountain.
Basically, the only other play I could see him potentially making is bailing and going to Swamp, but I kind of doubt that. All right, P-Train finishing up Skull Woods. Next, we're off to Swamp.
That sprite's so trippy still. Alright, but we got ourselves Swamp and Ice, and then the Swamp Ice, and then GT, hopefully. Alright, so Ralkin is going to open up the TR portal. Is he going to go into Turtle Rock?
He could, but he couldn't get very far.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, if he wants to hover the gap, knock yourself out.
I don't think Ralkin even hovers.
Yeah, I've never made it across that gap. That's too consistent for me.
Yeah, that's not really a skip that you do.
Oh, P-Train is all in on this go mode situation.
He's skipping everything. He's really banking on the fact that the GT big key is not Samaria locked.
I mean, the odds are in his favor, and it is the sort of play that, you think most seasoned runners of this would, go for that potential gain of time here.
We'll have to see just how badly he wants that. We'll see if he opens up Waterfall Chest. I think he'll open up Waterfall Chest. That check is literally almost free.
I mean, if you do the diver down with bombs, you can get the other two.
Yeah.
And
he's
putting diver down, so
yeah.
I don't see why you wouldn't pick these up, because they're just right there. Still trying to get that alignment. That doesn't look right. There we go. That's it. Oh, well, no.
Yeah.
No, he was
maybe
a pixel high when he dropped the bomb. There it is, right there. All right, 20 and 5. Samaria on the floating island? Really? I wasn't paying any attention.
Was?
I mean, that's what Hum in the chat is saying.
Well, if Ralkin has Samaria, then at least that gives us some insurance against those 5 checks.
I'm not entirely certain. Alright, P-Train takes care of Argus and heading over to Ice. I imagine Relkin now has the Fire Rod, based on what we've seen. Well, look at that. Relkin actually does have the Cane of Samaria. What do you know? So I guess if P-Train goes up to GT the usually prescribed way, you know, going up through the light world, you'll actually see it on the floating island if it's there. So if you go up through the light world and go to the Turtle Rock portal, you'll see it on the way up, and you should be able to just go ahead and grab it if you feel like it. And to be honest, I might do it just because, you know, it gets rid of that possibility of not being able to finish it, and also makes the climb better.
All right.
So that is an interesting setup that P-Train used for the Ice Palace bomb jump there. Figure he's got it set up where he can be facing down after the bomb jump so that he can start dashing, doing the hammer dash down immediately. That's pretty interesting, and I might have to steal it. But yeah, as you can see, with the Cane of Samaria, Relkin showing off the diver down glitch with that, much easier to pull off in this particular setup. I just now noticed the rupee situation in the back of Swamp. He had red followed by blue followed by green, just right in a row. Feels good, man. Yeah, at this point, I have to assume it's potentially an issue on the restreaming computer, which unfortunately no one here has physical access to. All right, we see P-Train headed off to the top of Death Mountain, headed for GT. Let's see if he decides to go the Light World way or the Dark World way. All right, he's going Dark World, which, again, I have been told, even if you haven't activated the Turtle Rock portal, it's faster to go Light World as long as you don't hit dead rocks. That being said, I am a scrub. right, so P-Train checking a couple of items in Super Running Cave on the way up. I guess, if you're going to check those for Kane, that is certainly a way to do things.
All right. And we probably should ask for some guesses in chat, maybe. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Completely forgot.
Quick.
I mean, if you want to guess, there's nothing on the line here because there's a million people doing this race, and some people probably would have found the Kane on those to begin with. So we don't want to, give points to people who've been watching other people. But if you want to guess where the big key is, knock yourself out.
Hope room. Not much.
For P-Train,
magical number 3?
Hopefully.
333? No.
Rip. So far, nothing in the small key department. All right, well, so I can say something with relative certainty now. Tile room's a small key. And so is the key. So is the chest coming up before the. So is the chest coming up in the fire snake room.
All right, so it's.
So that did remove one of the 4 possibilities for P-Train's big key, or one of the 5 possibilities for P-Train's big key on the right-hand side.
Oh, that's nice. All right, so we have 4 chests coming up here. It's like, is P-Train going to have to go on a Samaria hunt? That is the question.
Nope, it's in here. You know that if you're in a 4-chest room like that and you see a small key, you know the big key is also in there.
Is that how that works?
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely must be. You can actually look at the logic in the code there, and you'll see specific things on all of those chests that says you can place an item here if you have all 4 GT keys, or you're trying to place a small key, you have 3 GT keys, and the big key is in one of the other 3 chests.
Yeah. I'm going to be looking forward to ditching that logic. Such a pain in the rear to read.
Oh, what's the is there
graph.
A thing in the works here?
Yeah, it's a graph.
I mean, it's already a graph, kind of.
It's a real graph, not a pseudo graph. Yeah, VTorp has been spending the last 2 years working on it.
I do love me some graph theory. Just gonna say.
Yeah, you'll appreciate it then. Hopefully we'll be able to get the code out soon. It's still being developed. No, dead rocks, please.
Yeah, we can see that Relkin did go to the floating island and pick up the item, so I can only assume that's where the cane was. But it doesn't mean much for Relkin. That is going to be it. Be able to get that cane. It does mean that beating the These Wizrobe rooms will be a little easier. P-Train using the bow strats here, which is nice, considering he didn't open the Ether Medallion in Ice. P-Train got to be a little careful here. Should be fine. Definitely
You'll have to grab the mag.
refill. Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't have to worry about jingle glitching.
Yeah, that was fixed in the most recent update. That is very nice. I believe that is fixed in all non-glitched modes.
Correct. And
so like it would still potentially happen even in overworld glitches?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. We also tried to fix quadrant glitch, but apparently that actually made things worse. In fact, after this race is over, I'm gonna have to undo that. Because apparently the way it works right now is that if you spin on any quadrant barrier, not the intersection of the two, on a super tile will cause quadrant glitch right now.
Oh,
because
yikes.
It got botched. Yeah, so we're gonna have to go and fix
revert
that after.
Change.
Yeah, we have to revert that particular fix.
Yeah, because like, that could have happened right there in the Moldorm room.
Yeah,
because you're gonna be spinning in Moldorm. It's just like, okay.
Yeah, and I'm actually afraid that it might happen during a qual, which is why I wanted to fix it right now.
Well, you heard it first. You heard it here. The perils of developing modifications of old 30-year-old
30-year-old video game
old code.
Yeah.
That, is specifically optimized in very strange ways.
It compiles ship it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's assembly. It will always compile because it doesn't compile.
I'm not. I imagine that by this point, the actual development of this probably used some form of higher level language as part of it.
No.
Really?
No, ALTTP was Direct 65C 816.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, that explains
there was no
a lot.
Yeah, they didn't use higher level languages until the N64. The N64 is when they started using C.
Yeah, I think Ocarina of Time was written actually in C++, if I recall correctly. But it was, it was Ocarina of Time, so it's jank.
Yeah.
Everything is jank at some point. Nobody's code is perfect.
All right, so we got P-Train. He's fighting Ganon right now. Never found silver arrows, which I'm kind of sad about.
Yeah, didn't get to see the good old-fashioned chemical symbol for silver there.
It was my favorite.
Yeah, we're teaching people chemistry here, y'all. Unfortunately, did not get to get the free hit off on Ganon because he was staying where he was. Find the arrows in the Dark World. Where could those have been?
I think Relkin pretty much full cleared Death Mountain, didn't he? So,
yeah. And we even saw Spike Cave from him. Let's see.
Interesting.
Pyramid Fairy? Yeah, that makes sense. Vanilla Silvers could have been a thing. Mimic Cave is Light World, or Mimic Cave is Death Mountain, actually, is what it would say. Catfish we saw. Yeah, Pyramid Fairy might be it. And GG to P-Train. About to cross the threshold.
All right. P-Train finished this race with a time of
1:19:09. With an official time of 1:19:09 in what turned out to be 34th place overall. First place, for those of you keeping score at home, that went to Gem with a time of around 106. 106.31. So, the amount of variance, or the amount of stuff going on in the seed, there was a fair amount of variance because, everything, if you did everything exactly right, you could have gotten everything you needed real quick. And so that doesn't surprise me at all. But then, coming off, about 15 minutes or so, still within 15 minutes of first place, but that takes you down to 34th place overall. So this is a competitive scene. Let's put it that way. So the par time that's being used to calculate the qualifiers, is that top 5?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So the top 5 times, we have 106.31, 108.27, 108.45, 109.19, and 109.42. P-Train is there in the chat. GG P-Train. I don't know if we sent out the invites for interviews or whatnot. Yep, there we go. Hello, P-Train. How's it going?
Hello.
How's it going? I mean, from where I was sitting, everything looked pretty good on your, from where I was sitting. I was like, hey, this is at least as good as I would have done the seed, if not better. It's just some of the plays, I guess, turned out a little better than others. Just the sequence in which things were done.
Yeah, a 39-minute hammer in Ice Ride Cave feels bad for sure, but I don't regret putting off Ice Ride Cave when you get that much stuff at the beginning. So just worked out that way, I guess.
Yeah, talk about your efficient clearing of 1 million overworld checks right at the beginning. When's the last time you got to mirror from the dig game to the race game, having not seen the race game already?
Yeah, that was like, I was just trying to figure out what to do, because usually if I get really early Dark World access, like let's say rather than let's say there's no mirror, right? We don't find mirror. In that same situation, I probably just clear out Sphere 1 minus Ice Rod Cave and like Aegina. And I probably don't touch the eastern area, but I still do Damned and Mini Moldorm, because I feel like situations like this kind of get blown out of proportion sometimes. It's like, oh my gosh, I have Dark World access already. But like let's say that, there's a glove in CAC, a glove in Mini Moldorm, and Moon Pearl in Sahasrara. Like, nobody sees that as weird, right? But logically, it's all the same.
Exactly.
So a lot of people get intimidated by early Dark World access. I tend to just stay. I tend to be solid with Sphere 1. But man, getting that mirror, like all of a sudden I had to route on the fly, and that was nuts.
So let me tell you, one thing about both of you is you guys have some real heads-up ability, because one of my things is I tend to go autopilot for like the first 10 minutes or so, and both of you realized right off the bat, oh, I have this glove, the second glove. I could go check King's Tomb right now, and immediately got the Moon Pearl, and I was like, that would have taken me 20 minutes to get to.
GG's Rolkin.
Hey, GG's P-Train.
Oh, so P-Train, we had a really burning question. What did you do to your sprite?
Oh yeah, that's a bobblehead link, which
Okay.
I'm actually surprised didn't make the cut for the hotfix. I made a 2 troll sprites. One of them is this one, which I love to play when I'm on Restream. The other one was a League sprite, which is just Link, but he's just a white silhouette. They put the League sprite on the site, but they for whatever reason, they just, I guess my bobblehead Link didn't make the cut. Maybe they thought it was low quality or something.
I mean, I'm not going to say anything, but you might be right. We have a lot of Link-themed sprites on the site, so
Yeah, that's
they're a
completely
little.
fair.
The bar is a little higher on those than original art, but we had to include the League.
And let's just say, making that custom sprite had to have been, let's just say, probably a pretty easy task.
You would think, but even like something as crazy as that, like I have the utmost respect for our sprite artists. Like even something as silly as that still was quite the effort to like learn how to use GIMP and figure all that out. But that's neither here nor there. Roken, I'm kind of curious as to when you got your hammer. I got mine at the 39-minute mark.
I think I got mine 30-minute or just before the 30-minute mark.
So Relkin had the hammer when he went to Pod and Eastern, and you didn't.
Ah, nuts.
Interesting.
Yeah, I double dipped. I double dipped Pod. But that was my cue. Flippers were my cue to do Ice Rod Cave. I dove Eastern before Pod, so I had the flute. So that right there was kind of a no-brainer. But even without the flute, I probably would have cleaned up Ice Rod Cave doing the Zora checks. And finding that hammer just felt awful.
Yeah. The whole hammer situation was a little bit awful, but I think the thing that hurt Relkin in the end was the dip into Mire.
It was just basically not going to the mountain after hammer. That was all it came down to.
There was that too.
Yeah, I mean, because you don't go into East. If I don't go into Eastern, I'd probably do the mountain. But I went to Eastern, got the flute. Like, well, I have to follow this up now, so I did that and got nothing out of it. Felt real bad afterwards.
I actually was very, very close to doing the same thing because I think I did Hera and then left the mountain.
Yep.
And went to desert because I wanted to believe in the flute so hard.
Yeah. It's just the thing is.
I did Hera. I did Hera, got the hook shot, had the hammer, and then left the mountain to go do other stuff. So I didn't go to whatever it is, Paradox Cave.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the thing
you would have done
is-
super well if you did then.
The thing is, the flute, not only does it unlock that, but for this seed, it unlocked the mountain because the
Logically,
lamp was
yes.
up there, right?
Yeah,
So-
logically it did.
That's the part of the flute we needed to believe in there, unfortunately. Go ahead, sorry.
Nah, it was kind of an awkward one to route. I mean, you got so many items early. Anytime I have Dark World access before Ice Art Cave, I tend to skip it. Because what are the odds? Number one, what are the odds of something valuable being there? Number two, what are the odds of something valuable being there that you can't clear up like more efficiently later? Because I mean, although I needed the item earlier, like my trip to Ice Art Cave wasn't that bad. I had flute, I had flippers, I had all the opportunity in the world to get there quickly. But it just happened to have hammer this seed in which you left the Sank area with Dark World access. It's kind of nuts how loaded Sphere 1 was.
Yeah, that was something else. Going straight to King's Tomb into Mushroom Turn-In was what I did immediately out of Escape.
I considered it, but I held on to the mushroom. I opted to do it. I got mirror, so I did a bunch of like Dark World checks and Light World checks, kind of comboed, and that ended with me doing the dam check, and then I just did a fake flipper, like right after doing Hype Cave and Dam and Mini Mole Dorm, and that's when I turned it in. Picked up a potion too, which was kind of nice to have.
So just out of curiosity, Roken, what's the trick to setting up the water walk there on that hole?
Oh, you're talking about right when I started the seed, basically?
Yeah.
So you have to dash close enough to the hole where, one, you don't fall in, but two, you also are close enough that you set up the water block by, basically, you interrupt your dash by bonking on something. Okay. And then after that, you have to...
The bonk is required. Got it.
Yes, the bonk arms the water walk because your dash was interrupted. and then you have to walk around the top and drop from above down to the water. You know, you can't just drop anywhere into the water. You have to drop where you're facing downwards, and that'll activate your water walk.
Yeah, when you dash over a pit, it arms pit state. So if you interrupt the end of the dash, you maintain pit state, which is what allows you to do the water walk. Which is why the ice rod cave setup works too, because you dash out the door and that interrupts the dash. So the code to cancel pit state never fires.
Yep.
And that's why in the Skull Woods one, when you bonk off the wall there, that's also required. Okay.
Right. Yes. You have to let it bonk for it to work properly.
You can also do like a dash turn on the edge of the pit. I have kind of a mixed success rate with that. But yeah, if you just do if your dash would have armed pit state, then doing a dash turn and walking away from the pit will also arm pit state. But that one to me is a little bit trickier.
I think it's just simpler to do the bonk setup.
Yeah, I completely agree.
All right. Well, I mean, the times here were pretty good.
One more question for you, P-Train. You didn't pick up the cane. Did you never see it?
No. Because of where the hammer was, I thought it was to my benefit if I could skip the mountain. Because I thought if you get hammer, like 100%, you sequence break the mountain. Because you can do all the mitt stuff. And so I thought once I found the hammer, I'm like, if I manage to skip the mountain, I might actually redeem myself here. Which backfired because both fire sources were in Paradise Cave.
Yeah, but you just never saw the cane because you went from the one from the bottom because you had hook shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and when I was climbing, I thought it would be the smarter idea to go up Super Bunny in case Kane was in Super Bunny, because I needed to go to the Dark World anyway. So I was like, oh, might as well do 2 checks. But at that point, I was pretty convinced. I'm like, if it's not in GT, then I might just forfeit. I'll wait till you finish on Restream and then probably just forfeit. But when you see Jim throw up a 106, it's like I felt pretty confident that Kane wasn't required.
That's fair. I was already in go mode at that point whenever Jim finished. I was already in the back of Swamp, so I had already gotten Kane.
Yeah, I didn't have Kane, but I was quite focused on GT at that point. I checked what was on the way in Swamp, and I don't think I opened up anything in Ice. So,
I did Ice really early, so I did it really slowly.
Yeah, both of you actually had to do the old school bomb jump there in Ice Palace.
Yeah, kind of nice every now and then. I will say
I'm surprised you didn't
I
bust.
absolutely hate. Say it
Go
again.
ahead. I was going to say I'm surprised you didn't bust out the hover for that.
I think hovering might be faster in Ice Palace, but you have to be like really quick with it, and I think it involves like a damage boost off of the fire bar or something. It's not worth it. I'm practiced with the NMG strat there, so I just prefer the dash turn. It's just a little bit more natural to me.
All right. So, again, both of you were excellent times here. Going to be. I mean, you're still going to have very respectable scores for this seed, no matter what. I don't know what the actual points are going to work out to, but I mean, we got plenty more of these qualifiers coming up, so I'm sure we'll have an excellent time going forward. Anything else you two would like to say before we wrap things up here?
I've never been so upset with a 119.
Yeah. We're shaking my fist at Gem right now.
Yeah. But yeah, GG's rocking. It was a good one. Glad we got to be on Restream for this one.
Yeah. GG's to you as well. And thanks for the commentary and tracking as always. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.
All right. Once again, thank you all for watching. Thank you to both of our runners, P-Train and Relkin, for putting an excellent show. If you like what you saw here, you should probably give them a follow, because there's some pretty excellent gameplay on display there. I want to thank our tracker Adalor, our Restream crew for taking Jaxie's in charge of that. taking care of the stream here. And of course, my co-commentator, Sinak, thank you so much for joining me today.
It's my pleasure. Good luck to everybody. Do we have anything else on Speed Gaming this afternoon? I haven't looked at the schedule at all, so
I have not either, so
I'm sure there'll be things to watch still. So hit that.
We got
follow
another one of these
button.
qualifiers tomorrow, I believe, tomorrow evening.
Yes, we do.
There's a Mega Man 6 tournament race over on some of the Speed Gaming channels later today.
Yep.
That's what's next, anyway. From the chat, Mission66, thanks for that. But with that, I think we're pretty good to wrap things up here.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. Good day.
I will see you all at a later occasion. I've been Dr. Bobtastic. Good night, everybody.